What up and what's poppin'? It's your dog Breeze from Fahrenheit 451, part of the Fourth and Go Network. We're burning the books alive. An ugly ass reverse sweep, 0-4 day yesterday on my NBA picks, back with my best bets in the NBA for March 5th. Let's dive right into it. First up, Miles Bridges of the Charlotte Hornets over 7.5 rebounds, minus 132 odds over at FanDuel. He's had 9 rebounds in his last 6 out of 7 games. 9 rebounds or more in his last 6 out of 7 games. 10 rebounds or more in his last 5 out of 7 games. 10 rebounds in the last game versus Orlando. And Nick Richards, their starting center, is questionable. I also like him for a double-double. That's at like plus 190 as a lean. Next, my first lean. That was my first official play. This is my first lean. Wendell Carter Jr. in that same game of the Orlando Magic, over 7.5 rebounds, minus 135 odds at DraftKings. Hit this line in the last 3 out of 5 games with 1 hook. 9 and 12 rebounds, 12 and 9 rebounds in the last 2 versus Charlotte. Hornets allow the second most rebounds to centers. I also like, as 2 leans, I like Paolo Banchero's rebounds over. I just think it's juiced at 8 right now, and I like Franz Wagner over 6 rebounds. It's a little juiced. I would rather the 4.5, so I'm not taking it. Probably show up in a parlay. Next official play, Tobias Harris over 19.5 points, minus 106 odds over at FanDuel. Maxey just got listed out, so I'm sure these lines will jump. It'll probably jump to like 22.5. I'll still like it at whatever it drops, really under 25, because it's going to be his and Tsunami Poppy show, Kelly Oubre. Tobias Harris over 19.5 points, minus 106 odds over at FanDuel. 31 and 28 points in his last 2 games. Hit this line in his last 3 out of 5 games versus the Brooklyn Nets. Also, I'm leaning his rebounds because he's had 12, 7, 12, and 5 rebounds in his last 4 versus Brooklyn. And Brooklyn allows the 4th most rebounds to small forwards. I had a lean of Philly minus 2. Well, it was an official play, but now it's a lean with Maxey being out. Philly is 9 and 1 in the last 10 versus Brooklyn, but I'm not going to spend too much time on it. Next up, my next lean is Jalen Duren of the Detroit Pistons, over 12.5 points, minus 115 odds, pretty much across the board. Hit this line in his last 4 out of 6 games with 2 hooks, 20 and 17 the last 2 games versus Bam. All right, my next official play is going to be Jalen Duren over 10.5 rebounds, minus 110 odds at DraftKings. He's had 10 rebounds in his last 5 out of 6 games, 14 rebounds in his last 2 games versus Bam. All right, and I think he's just gonna cook Bam. I think it's a mismatch. I think Bam is a mismatch for Duren. And I think Duren's going to dominate that matchup because it is a mismatch. My next official pick is going to be Michael Porter Jr. Before we get into it, I like him for a double-double. That's plus 330 at FanDuel. I also like him for 10 rebounds, plus 300 over at FanDuel. Lean. Official play, Michael Porter Jr. over 6.5 rebounds, minus 132 odds over at FanDuel. 11, 12, 7, 5, 11, and 10 rebounds in his last 6, meaning that he's hitting this line in his last 5 out of 6 games. 12, 10, 8, 5, and 10 rebounds in his last 5 versus the Suns, meaning he's hitting his line in his last 4 out of 5 versus the Suns, and in his last 5 out of 6 straight up. Yusuf Nurkic is questionable, so the boards would be up for grabs. Last but not least, my final pick is B.I. Sleepy B, the high man, Brandon Ingram of the New Orleans Pelicans, over 21.5 points. Duren plays for the Pistons and Michael Porter Jr. plays for the Denver Nuggets. Brandon Ingram of the New Orleans Pelicans, over 21.5 points, minus 109 odds over at Caesars. Hit this line in the last 4 games with totals of 22, 24, 30, and 34. 36 and 41 points in his last 2 games versus the Raptors. Toronto allows the 2nd most points to small forwards. In summary, I'm taking Miles Bridges for 8 rebounds or more, Tobias Harris 20 points or more, Jalen Duren 11 rebounds or more, definitely going to be a ladder spot. Michael Porter Jr. 7 rebounds or more, and Brandon Ingram 22 points or more. Like, comment, and subscribe for your daily sports betting videos and analysis. Let's keep burning them. As always, I'll see you tomorrow. Parlays and builders will be over on Twitter. Peace, love, and fish grease.